Hi everyone, it's Lauren at Crafty Hippie. Today we're making a card using the Dragonfly Dreams stamp set by Stampin Up. I made two earlier on in the year that look a bit like this. I'm going to be making this one today, and I'm going to colour it a slightly different colour. I've got shades of blue and green here. This one is sort of an orangey into yellow into turquoise, and I'm going to show you how I made it. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to stamp my dragonfly and put that aside ready for colouring in. I'm going to do my sentiment as well while I'm at it. I'm going to cut that out with the detailed Dragonfly Thinlits dies. And the sentiment says, enjoy your special day. And that sentiment is from the Dragonfly Dreams set. So I'm only using one stamp set today. That's partly because I'm using a lot of dies. I didn't want to use too many products, but also it's nice to be able to create a project that only uses one stamp set. So I'm just going to put the sentiment and the dragonfly to one side while I do the rest of the card. Then I'm going to colour the dragonfly and then we're going to die cut it out. So I've got my card base, and then I've got two layering pieces here. The smallest piece I'm actually going to put through an embossing folder using the Big Shot, and that just gives it a lovely background. So I'm going to be using the Polka Dot Basics embossing folder by Stampin Up. Let's get my Big Shot. I will put links to all the products in the comments box below. So when you're doing the embossing folders, you need to put the top tab back so that you're working on tab 1. You place your bit of cardstock in the embossing folder. Oops. Get it straight. And then you create your sandwich between the two plates on top of the tab and then run it through. Okay, now behind my dragonfly is a little disc which I cut out using the stitch shaped framelets, so I'm going to do that next. I thought I had a piece of card put aside for that, and I don't know where that's gone, so I'll just get another piece out and then run that through the Big Shot as well. So the stitch shaped framelit dies are one of my favourites. I use these an awful lot. I'll just move the Big Shot so that I can show you them. So they comprise of some square dies with the stitch shape around the edge, and then also some circles and some ovals. I use these so much. If you follow my blog or YouTube, you'll recognise those because I do use them. They're so versatile. And they're just really good for adding an extra layer on your projects. So I'm wondering if I should go a little bigger actually. I think that one's a bit small. I'm just going to see if I can go one size up. I think that's a better size. It just about fits, I think. I wonder if I got away with that, or whether that piece of cardstock was not quite big enough. Oh yes, I just got away with that. Perfect. Okay, so that's everything embossed and cut out. The only thing left to cut out will be the dragonfly, and we'll do that after I've coloured that in. So I'm just going to put the big shot to one side for the time being. Okay, so I'm going to stick my embossed layer down and then stick that on my card because everything else is stuck up with dimensionals. I'm just going to layer that up like so. Okay, so I have decided to use some Melon Mambo, the pink, some Daffodil Delight, the yellow, and the Coastal Cabana to colour this dragonfly in. I thought I'd use some really nice bright colours. And I'm going to use some metallic pearls on the middle of the dragonfly once we've cut it out and I've put it on the project. So taking a blender pen, I'm just picking up some of the colour from inside the ink pad and I'm just going to colour down. Now this ink here has come from one of the ink refill bottles, so I've just put a few drops in the lid. You can pick up the colour from the pad like that. You can squeeze these pads together. These are the old ones. You can squeeze them together and get some of the ink left in the lid. You can do that with the new ones, but you have to be really careful. I've given it a try and I wasn't successful, but apparently you can do it. But I'm a bit scared of breaking mine because I'm a bit clumsy and heavy-handed. But it can be done by all accounts. Now I think I might change my colours actually, because this card, if I do pink, yellow and sort of a turquoisey colour, I think it's going to look a bit like this one. So I think I'm going to change my colours. I'm going to get rid of the Daffodil Delight and the Coastal Cabana, and I'm going to go for something different. Let me see. I'm going to go for something altogether different. I'm going to go for some garden green and some Blackberry Bliss. Now they're quite dark colours, so they might not show up too well, but I just want to have a change. So just out of the shot, I'm just cleaning my blender pen on here on some scrap paper between colours, because otherwise you'll mess up your ink pads and you'll mess up your blender pen. So let's put some Blackberry Bliss on. Yeah, now that's really dark. It's probably a bit darker than I was after, but let's just blend it out from the middle. Just nice to use some different colours. I don't use Blackberry Bliss very often. Oh. It's not easy for me to say that, Blackberry Bliss. It's a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? Okay, so I'm going to add some more pink in, I think, just to really bring that out. And put some pink in the middle, even though it's going to be covered with one of the gems. Just cleaning my brush. And then some garden green. Now you could do this another way. You could colour in all those tiny little pieces on the wings. It's like a stained glass window almost. You could colour those in lots of different shades, and I've actually done a card like that before, and that's really effective as well. Or you can just do bands of colour like I'm doing here. You can't really get it wrong, to be honest. It's just whatever your imagination decides. Okay, so I like that because it's just a bit different to the ones that I've done before. So we're going to cut that out now, and the way I do this with the dies is to use some post-it notes, because I do find that when I run it through, sometimes it moves a little bit, and then the die is slightly offset to the image. So I'm going to show you how I do this. Hopefully you can see this. So this is the detailed Dragonfly Thinlits dies, which go with the Dragonfly Dreams stamp set. And as you can see, there are lots of different dies. There's a bee as well. There are 2 big detailed dragonflies. There's this dragonfly outline, which is the one I'm about to use. And yeah, there's a bee and some lots of little dragonflies sort of flying up. So they're really good dies, those. Okay, so hopefully you can see this, and this is in shot. But the way we do this is to line it up, and then I use several post-it notes to make sure that this is in place. So sorry about my head. Need to see what I'm doing. Right, so I run the sticky bit over the image and over the die, holding it all in place. So this is the sticky end here, and you know, sometimes it's good to put a few on, and you can lift them up and reuse them. You can reuse them for quite a few projects. But that is usually enough just to make sure your image is absolutely perfect when it comes out of the machine. So yeah, as you can see, you can reuse these. They do get little marks in them where they've obviously gone through, but that's okay, they're still sticky. Okay, so there's my dragonfly, and yeah, even then, it has moved a little bit. I think it's my big shot. I've had my big shot for many years now, and I probably need to think about replacing it, but it is over 10 years old. So you can either leave that like that, or you can trim it up a bit if you're not happy, which I think what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to take out some of the little bits there. If I was doing this and I wasn't doing this on the video, then this would be perfect. But I think because I'm doing everything at a bit of an angle, trying to get you, trying to make sure that this is under the camera so that you can see, everything's a bit of a bodge job. Just going to trim that up a little bit. Not that it needs it, but I'm just a bit of a perfectionist. But actually, with that slightly sort of the white bit at an angle, it kind of gives it a 3D effect. So you really can't get this wrong, really, to be honest, card making. Right, so let's put everything up on dimensionals. And I think today I'm going to use a silver pearl in the middle of the dragonfly. Oops. These pearls are weird because they come off of here really easily, and it's almost like they haven't got any glue on them, but then once you put them on your project, it's absolutely, stuck fast. Very weird. Okay, let's get some dimensionals. I like these cards with lots and lots of layers and lots of depth and texture. Probably my favourite cards to make. peel those off out of the shot. It's one of the problems I have, is that I end up really spreading myself out, and when you're watching I'm very aware of the fact that I keep doing things off of the camera, but it's just the way I work. Okay, so enjoy your special day. I think we might use some of the mini Stampin' dimensionals for that. I don't know actually, let's have a look. Oh no, they'll fit. Use those for the sentiment, they will fit. Okay, let's peel those off where you can see. Enjoy your special day. So as you can imagine, there are so many variations you can make with this card. You could add in a coloured frame, you can use different embossing folders, different colours, different colouring techniques on the wings. This is just a really quick one that I've thrown together, but you get the idea how you just layer up those shapes and you end up with a really, really nice card. Okay, thanks for watching today. Bye bye.